Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO, getting straight into the weekly outlook. Looking at the DXY on the daily, there's two scenarios here. Like I've mentioned, this is either the C down and that's it, that it has broken the ending point of wave A, and we go up and break the top from here. Or second scenario is we get a correction in here and we get an A, B, C, and then we get an A, B, C as a larger correction before we get an A, B, C. So, like I mentioned last week, there really isn't a clear direction on the daily at this stage. We're looking at the lower timeframes to get that direction. H4, we got the 5 down in here. We lost all the bullish divergence. I was just looking for a correction in here and possibly another one down to finish off that C wave on the daily, a little bit more downside. I was looking for in here, we got the 5 up in here. If I just go to the H1, we're looking at this like WXY X2. Oh, sorry, we got that WXY X2, and we got that Z up. Then we got this A, B, C here, and we've gone up and broken the top again. I was looking for these 5 up in here and to get like a flat in here for an A, B, and then we get a C up. Instead, it's given a flat in here, and it's gone and broken the top. So, next week, Monday, Tuesday, you could look for a flag to buy. It's more of a scalp though. I mean, yeah, it's more of a scalp, but you can just see how far it goes. AU on the daily. Looking for this C up in here. It's come back down. So again, this could become more complex. And we get another one down in here, and then we get a flat in here somewhere, and we get like an A. All this is a B, and then we get a C up. And we get a flat in the middle here, like an A, B, C. Now this C down may or may not go and break that low, but either way, I'd be looking for the A, B, C. The H4, we didn't get that wave set up. Instead, we got a larger correction in here. So we just got the 3 up in here. We got an A, B. We're getting a C down now. On the lower time frame, it's 5 down. We're looking for those 5 down. That did complete last week. We were looking for this wave 5 down in here. That did go and break that low, so that was fine. We actually got a bear hidden in here, and surprisingly enough, that did play out during non-farm payroll. So we're really waiting for direction. We got 5 down, so you need to wait for a larger correction before you can look for sells again. You need corrections larger than these ones over here before you can look for a sell. Other than that, we're looking for a buy setup, but there is no buy setup on it at this stage. Sort of that non-farm payroll sort of didn't really, well, it was very strong for the USD, and we didn't get the reversals. So I was sort of looking for on the AU as an example. GU on the daily, I'm looking at the A, B, C. Now this is still looking rather bullish up the top here, like I've been mentioning for many months. The ending point, this wave C has broken the ending point of that wave A, so it can finish at any time. Would really like some more upside. But yeah, like many of the other majors on the daily, there is no real clear direction now. The H4 on the GU, we got those 5 up, looking for a larger correction and then more upside. We are still in that larger correction. Last week, if you remember, I was looking for 5 down in here. We still haven't got those 5 down. I was looking for that complex correction, W, X, Y, X2 and a Z down. We still haven't gone and broken the low. I dare say we may get a correction in here next week. You may be able to scalp this down, and then you may get a buy setup, like a buy setup to go up and break the top for another 5 up. But yeah, at this stage, you can really only sell it. Yeah. EU on the daily, sort of looking for a flat in here. Like I'm looking at the A, B, C. I'm still looking for more upside. But again, you know, the ending point of wave A was broken in this wave C, so it can be complete. That's why we're really looking to the lower time frames for direction. On the H4, we got the 5 up. We got this like W, X, Y, X2. We had that ball hidden there. We were looking for this to go up and break the top. It did. And when it did, we lost that bearish divergence. So I was just looking for a correction in here before we get more upside. This can also be just like a W, X, Y, and then we get an A, a B, and a C as a flat. We go up here, or you could look at it as like an A, B, C in here also. So really, we're getting the bullish divergence on the H4. So really, you know, really only looking for buys. Unfortunately, we didn't get much of a buy opportunity with that non-farm payroll. Just gave us that spike down. I would have liked to give the spike up, but it didn't happen. So yeah, again, it's going to be risky to sell because we have that bearish divergence on the H4. But I like GU, you know, if you get a correction in here, you could look for at least another one down just to go and break that low. I wouldn't be expecting too much out of it, but you never know, it may fall over on you. And at this stage, it really isn't a buy setup on it. So NU, we're looking at that A, B, C, but again, you know, we're getting this large correction in here, so it can become more complex. Maybe some sort of a flat in here, and we get some sort of A, B, C in here again, and then before we get the A, B, C. So again, there's no clear direction on the daily at this stage. The H4 is playing out like we were looking at. We're looking at those 5 up. We got that. We're looking at that WXY, X2, and a Z down. So we're getting that now. This second correction in here is a little bit larger, but it's gone and broken the low. So yeah, we're sort of looking. Well, there's A, B, C. We got that C up. It did just break that top there. I was thinking go a little bit further and break that top. But yeah, non-farm payroll, it just fell over and broke the low. So yeah, I mean, again, like GU and EU, you know, you could look for a correction in here and another one down. More than likely be W, X, Y, X2 and a Z down. Like you'd be looking for the X2. GY. We got that W, X, extended wave Y. I'm waiting for a larger correction in here for an X2 before we get that Z up. It started to give us that impulse down, but now it's gone up and broken the top. On the lower time frames, it's very much bullish, like I've been mentioning, you know, for a while now. We're looking for this wave Z up. We got this WXY. Well, look, X2. We got the ball hidden here, so we're looking for the first target and the second target, that 161.8. So on the lower time frames, you can look for a buy. You'd be just waiting for a correction in here on the lower time frame. This is the H1, but on the M15, you'd be looking for a correction in here to buy. And those H4 targets, the 123.6 and the 161.8 are your targets. UY on the daily, sort of looking for a correction in there. That didn't play out because of non-farm payroll, but on the daily, nothing's changed. We're looking for another one to go and break that top, and even if this top does get broken, I'm still be looking at it as a B wave, so that we get the A, the B, and we get a C down. So nothing's really changed on the daily. We're getting a breakout now. I was thinking we may get an A, B, C here, and then another one down for an A, B, C. Non-farm payroll took off, so that's not going to play out now. Now we're looking for a buy. Waiting for a correction and a buy. And so Monday, Tuesday, and possibly even Wednesday, got a nice impulse up. We're looking for a correction in here or a flag. I'd be waiting for a correction. I can't go into how we trade, but if you're unsure on how to get in trades and that, let us know and join up. But yeah, we're looking for a correction and more upside. UCAD on the daily, I am still looking at this flat here, like this A. So it's actually on the lower time frames, but I'm looking at this flat in here, like I have been for a long time. So we got these 5 up in here. We got an A, B, C for the B wave, and then we get an A, B, C. I'm looking at that large flat. So I am looking for upside, looking for a C up. We did bounce off of this 100 fib here. See, even this one I was looking at during the week. I was looking at one up here and then a possible another one down here, and then we get an A, B, C as your flat before we get an A, B, C. So if you are looking to buy this, and it pretty much goes for GY as well, you have to be careful for that flat. This isn't the best because it didn't come from a low. So this is more of a WXY. It's very sharp moves. So all you can really do is, if you get a correction in here, you could look for at least 3 up, or 5 up, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you'd have to be careful because you may get that other one down for the flat to finish off the flat before you get the actual buy setup that goes. The Swissy on the daily, nothing's changed on this for a very long time. We got all that bullish divergence. We got that A, B, C, bounced off the trend line. This was looking bullish for quite some time, for probably 2-3 weeks. So, nothing's changed. I'm looking for more upside. Well, I was looking for that A, B, C. It got up to that 100 fib, but it's still looking bullish. I was looking for an A, B, C. It never fell over. Instead, it's looking bullish. So I'm looking at this as the end of the move. Right? And this is an impulse, a correction, and we get an impulse. And this one didn't come from a low either, unfortunately, but you'd be looking at W, X, Y, X2 and a Z up. But, you know, if you get a correction in here Monday, Tuesday, you definitely could look for upside. There are no sell setups on it at this stage. For a sell setup, you know, we'd need a break beyond this low here and then a correction, you know, to be able to sell. You'd need that bearish correction to sell. We don't have that at this stage. EG on the daily. So nothing's really changed on the daily. Looking at the A, B, extended wave C. We've got a W, X, Y, X2, and looking for that Z down. This is very slow coming down, and this was deep. We're looking for that down in there on the lower time frames. On the H4, you know, we had this, you know, all this bearish divergence, got a nice impulse down. We're looking for the correction and at least 3 down. Well, we got the 3 down and we got the bullish divergence. So even though I would like it to go down, ideally go down a little bit further on the daily, you know, I'd like to go and break these lows. It hasn't done that yet, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does still. But you can't sell down here. You can't sell at a low, you know. So this is looking, there's really nothing on it. I mean, more than likely, this is just a correction. We're getting a very deep correction. So, you know, I'd be looking for just an A, B, C, basically, before possibly more downside. But you'd need to wait for a correction if you're looking for the sell. You know, you'd be looking over here somewhere for a sell. For the buy, it's very risky to buy. You know, if we have a look at this, it's very choppy in all the waves, so it's hard to find the B wave. I mean, we know that this is going to be a B wave. We got that impulse, but it's hard to know if this is finished. If there's a complete structure there, you know, we sort of got impulse, impulse, correction, impulse. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 down. So I guess if you got a bullish correction in here, you could look for it just for a C up for an A, B, C, just to go and break that top. If you're lucky, it keeps on going. But yeah. WTI. So we're looking at this as the impulse. There's 2 scenarios here, like I've mentioned, over many weeks now. You know, looking at that is an impulse, this is an impulse, and we get a correction in here, another one down as 1, 2, 3, and then we get an A, B, C as your flat before we get, you know, more downside. Well, that was the second scenario. Oh, this is just all the B wave and we go up from here. I sort of ruled that out because, you know, this was looking so corrective. It's been looking corrective for 2, 3 weeks now. We got the 3 up on the H4. Well, we got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we got this A, B, C. It's starting to fall over. You can't sell this at this stage, you know. It's too risky. We have a ball hidden here. So you got to be really careful selling this at this stage, you know. You'd have to wait on the H1. You'd have to wait for like a WXY. You'd have to wait for your X2. Ideally, you get a bear hidden in here, and then you could look for a Z down, wait for a larger correction. That would break that low. Then you could look for the correction and then more downside. You really got to take out this bear, possible bull hidden before you look for the sell, though. You know, unless you're going down onto the lower time frames. But if you, like I said, if you got a nice H1 setup in here, on the lower time frame, and it did go down and break that low, well then, you know, you could wait for the larger correction and you get more downside to go and break that low. Yeah. So yeah, just be careful at this stage. And there is no buy set up on it, you know, at this stage. So looking at gold, nothing's changed here on gold either. I mean, this is going on the daily, looking at that A, and then an A, and then another A. So I'm looking for an A, B, C up in here like I have been for months. Well, for a long time, it seems like months. But yeah, for a long time, I've been looking at an A, B, C. And then we get an A, B, C as our correction to finish off this B wave, and then we get that A, B, C. Possibly up to these weekly targets at 123.6 and then that 161.8, the second target. What's happened with non-farm payroll now? It started to break out and it's come down. So I still got to really look for upside. Ideally, this does go A, B, C. It may become more complex, and we've sort of got that 1, 2, 3 in there. If we go down onto the lower time frame, we probably get a buy set up on this. It's not giving a buy setup, unfortunately. We'd be looking at it like a WXY. Would be waiting for an X2 here and a Z up. I mean, it's very risky because if we're looking at this as the X2, well, a wave four can't go into the territory of the wave, this wave 2. So it's already come into the territory. So more than likely, this is a complex correction, like a WXY, X2, a Z up as a complex correction before we get more downside. So something's not right here, you know, sort of non-farm payroll proved us wrong, basically. You know, I was looking for a bit more upside up to this 100 pip, but that didn't happen. Now, excuse me, it's more of a sell, you know. Yeah, it is more of a sell. You'd be looking at like a WXY X2, and you could scalp a Z down. Yeah. Silver's not playing out nicely either. I was looking for this like A, B, and then we get a C up for an A, B, C, and we get this flat in the middle here, A, B, C. It was looking good until non-farm payroll. So we've been looking for this for a few weeks, well, month, at least a month. So we're looking at that A, B, C. This may be the end of the B wave here now, and we go down and get a C down. I would have liked a little bit more upside to confirm, you know. Now it's going to be difficult to trade. It really is going to be difficult to trade because of that non-farm payroll. I mean, this is the top here, so we got an impulse down. This looks very impulsive, and that looks very impulsive. So we're getting all these impulses without the correction. Really got to wait for a correction before we can look for the direction. Bitcoin, what did Bitcoin do during non-farm payroll? We got nothing's changed on the daily. Like, we're going to be waiting a very long time before we look for the buy. The longer term buy on the daily. There's so many different scenarios here. I'd be looking at an A, we get a B in here and a C up, and then we get an A, B, C as our correction before we get the larger A, B, C. Again, we don't know what sort of correction we're going to actually get in here, but it's going to take months and months before it plans out. So you could scalp it on the lower time frames. You just have to be very careful because you are in a large correction. Well, we will be in a large correction. You can really, I mean, last week on the lower time frames, you could have bought, and we did see that. But on the H4, we got an impulse down, an impulse up. So, you know, if we get a correction in here, I'd be looking for, you could trade this one up in here. And then if you got a sell set up, you know, you could sell for the larger C down for the A, B, C. And that's pretty much how I'll be looking at it. Yeah. The S&P on the daily, it's kept on going up. Really, there's nothing we can do with this. You know, you're either in this wave Z up or you're not. And it's gone past all the targets. I was looking for more upside on this during the week. I mean, there's nothing really we can do, you know, on the H4. We've got all this bearish divergence. You know, you don't want to be buying up here. Well, there's a trade on the H1, but so this played out nice. We got that WXY. X2, we got the like an A, B, C in here. I showed this in the room. And we got that Z up now. We're starting to get bearish divergence. So, you know, you're either on this or you're not. You know, you can't wait for a correction in here to buy. You know, you're buying at the top of the daily, you're buying at the top of the H4, you're buying at the top of the H1. You know, it's madness if you're doing that. You have to wait. You have to either wait for a larger correction if you're buying, or you're looking for a sell. And there is no sell set up on it at this stage. AU200, I mean, this played out beautifully, exactly how we were looking at it for a very, very long time. We're looking at that A, B, C. Up to this 100 fib, there's still a little bit of room to go. Again, you know, do you want to buy up the top of the market? The H4, we're looking for this wave Z up. It's hit the first target by the look of it at 123.6. Your second target's at 161.8. What I mean by second target is not buying here and looking for that, but, you know, take the first half off your trade wherever you get in. You know, that's your first target and that's your second target. We got all that bearish divergence on the H4 now. We're going to get more. I mean, this more than likely will give a correction in here, some sort of a correction in here before it gives more upside up to that, like 161.8. More than likely, that's what'll happen. It'll give a correction, and then you get another spike up. At this stage, you know, I mean, yeah, the top of the market on the daily H4 and the H1. Do you want to risk a buy? Me personally, I just sit on the sideline until I get a sell. You know? There is no sell on it. So yeah, there's really not much you can do, and you just be scalping if you're doing anything on this at this stage. You're just scalping. The FTSE, what's the FTSE doing now? It's not doing anything like it's done for months and months and months. We got this impulse up here, so we got this A, B, C, and then we got this like A, B, C. It went up and broke the ending point of here. In this larger move up, and then ever since then we're just going sideways. So there is no clear direction. More than likely it's an A, B, C in here, and then you get an A, B, C. But you know, you really have to stay out of this. I mean, you know, you'd just be getting cut to pieces trying to trade this at this stage. You know, like a lot of the other indices like the S&P 500 and the AU200 and even the DXY, the DAX, you know, they look a lot better than the FTSE. You know, I mean, if you can work out what sort of correction in here, you know, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, this was great. You know, this correction in here, we were looking at that correction for an A, B, C. We were always looking. I mean, this wave C went further than you thought, and this wave C down here didn't go as far as we thought, but the structure played out. In here, I mean, this is the choppiest wave, you know, so you get some sort of A, B, C in here as your flat. and then you get an A, B, C. And then you get all this. So you sort of got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you may get 1, 2, 3 down or 5 down as a complex correction, and then you get an A, B, C, and all this is a complex correction, 3, 3, 3 or 3, 3, 5. You know, yeah. So there's nothing you can do here either on the H4. You've got a bear hidden here, so you have to be extremely careful buying a correction here, because you may get a nice correction in here, just comes up, just breaks that low, top, and then falls over on you, and it doesn't go up and take the bear hidden out, and you wonder why it fell over on you, because you got that bear hidden there. Yeah, so not really much you can do at this stage. You're really just scalping if you're trading this. Lastly, the DAX. So this was looking bullish last week, like we said. Well, the last couple of weeks, we're looking for that buy in here. Ideally, it would have got back to this 50 fib, but it didn't. But we had a correction. We had this like W, X, Y, X2, and we got that Z down as a complex correction. A, B, we're looking for this C up. I just double check to see if it has broken the top. Yeah, it has just broken the top over here. So we're starting to get that bearish divergence. You may be able to get a buy set up on it. You definitely want to get it to break even rather quickly. You'd be looking at some sort of a flat. Like you got an A, B, C up in here, and then you get an A, B, C as your flat. Before you get like an A, B, C. Is it getting... this may have a bear hidden on it as well. This one might be actually a bit better because we did break above this in here. We're getting a bull hidden as well. So we got a W, X, Y, X2. We're getting a bull hidden in here. So if you got a bullish setup on the lower time frames, could look to buy just to go and break that top, for the wave Z, and then you'd have to see how far this goes. If you got in around here somewhere, well, you get it to break even and take half off, and just let the rest run until you see it start to turn down. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. If you did, hit the like button, share and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.